Hey, Craig, thanks for joining me for a quick video today. There's a lot going on in the news, and I wanted to get your opinion on this.
Sure, let's do it.
So everybody's heard about the Colonial Pipeline ransomware attack. I think it's still pretty fresh, and there's still some pending investigations going on. Give me your take on that real quick. We'll do another video that goes a little bit deeper on some of the details about this, but tell us what you know so far.
So from what I've read anyway, that the findings are that happened through a known vulnerability. It actually used what we call ransomware for a service. So someone purchased a ransomware solution and then attempted to apply it to organizations. And in this situation, they used Exchange servers that were known to be compromised, and they just didn't fix it when the federal government was even telling them to fix it. So they were breached, and then this ransomware took over, and the rest obviously is history, and people are struggling with getting gas in certain parts of the country and so forth.
Unbelievable. Well, we'll go deeper into that in another video, but that sets the tone for the question that I really wanted you to dig into today. Many people are asking Colonial this question. Why did they not do anything sooner? But one of the main reasons that we typically hear that folks don't take action on any type of cybersecurity strategy is about the money, about the budget. So something that we dive into that would be really beneficial for folks to hear, especially with this in the news, is they're hopefully thinking about implementing some type of cybersecurity strategy, particularly if they're not already, is how do you determine the return on investment of a cybersecurity investment?
Isn't that kind of a challenge, right? So we're attempting to understand the return on investment of something that may or may not ever be needed. And so really what you have to do is understand that it's an opportunity cost. It's associated really with the avoidance of having to pay the potential fines and potential remediation, especially from a ransomware attack. And what we're seeing is the numbers are really broad. So we're seeing anywhere as low as $50,000, $60,000, $70,000 up into the $1 million+ range for small businesses once they become compromised. So the way that you attempt to understand that is the potential for that breach is a certain percentage. And if you aren't doing a whole lot, then your percentages are really low. And if you're doing a lot, your percentages are really high of being able to eliminate that threat. There's always going to be some risk. So you can't sit at 100. So what you do is you create a formula where you take the potential cost by the risk mitigation percentages, and then you subtract that from the cost of a managed service solution that includes cybersecurity. And you divide that all total by the same cost, and it gives a percentage. So for example, our clients who we haven't had any breaches, and if you look at those expenses and the percentage that we mitigate, which is extremely high, we see about a 370 to 380% return on investment, because those clients have not had to pay that average cost of a cybersecurity incident. Again, that's a broad range, and that number could be actually in the thousands of percentage, and it could be a little bit lower in the maybe 200% range. But on average, we see, in our space, $150,000 is a really solid liability or a risk number of what that cyber attack could cost. And then, we feel pretty confident we're in the upper 90% range for the solutions that we provide. And by the time you work all those numbers out, you're easily going to get back 300% of your money, because you didn't have to pay that penalty or that cost to maybe if you did choose to take a ransomware attack and pay to get it decrypted.
That's great. I love the way you break that down. Oh, so when we post this video, we'll include the formula that you just mentioned in the notes, so that folks can see that. But
Sure.
That's something that any organization, especially ones that don't have a robust cybersecurity strategy in place right now, that's something they need to be asking themselves. So
Sure.
I think we can leave it there. I'll give you the final word on this, however you want to leave this video, but we'll share that formula, and hopefully leaders will start thinking more about what a return on a cybersecurity investment really means to their business.
Yeah, we're used to penny pinchers and things where you got CFOs that are saying, no, we don't want to make that expenditure. We haven't had a breach and we've been in business for 10 years. I mean, it's a risk. It's associated with rolling dice. And so what we do is help businesses recognize the average cost of that breach. And then you look at the dollars that we associate with our managed services, and there's a percentage that's going to be in your favor because the likelihood of one of our clients being breached is really, really, really low. It is possible. That is part of technology, but hopefully this formula will make the ability for someone to understand how valuable it is even more clear.
Absolutely, yeah. 300+%. I like those numbers.
For sure, for sure.
All right, cool. We'll include all that information along with this video. Thanks, Craig. Appreciate it.
Yep, no problem.
See you next time.